Welcome everybody to the virtual college exploration for Missouri students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. You are joining us today for the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University presentation, and we thank you all for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started today. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. I know that your camera and your microphone are currently off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you at this time. And also know this is one of many different sessions that are going to be happening through MOACAC. If you'd like to see some of the other presentations being offered, be sure to check out the full schedule at moacac.org. Also know this presentation is being recorded, will be available within about a week on that same website, which once again is moacac.org. I'm now going to turn it over to our first presenter, Rebecca Klages.
Thank you, thank you. So I'll share my screen really quick and we'll get started. So I'm excited to share a little bit about Embry-Riddle with all of you. So just to get started and introduce myself, I'm Rebecca. I'm an admissions counselor over at Embry-Riddle. I have some of my counterparts here with me today to help answer a lot of your questions if you did have any as they come in. So we're all here to help, and we're here to help you after this presentation ends as well. So just to get started, if my screen wants to go. There we go. So a little bit about our history. We were founded in Miami, Florida, actually, so right about an hour from where I grew up in 1926 as Embry-Riddle Flight School. And actually, since then, we've grown and expanded a lot just from our flight program, which we, of course, still have today. But in 1965, we actually did found our Daytona Beach campus, and that was our first residential campus that we still have today on the east coast of Central Florida. So we did move a little bit north. And then in 1970, we established our worldwide campus, which actually started on some military bases, but is today also offering online programs as well. In 1978, we established our Prescott campus in Arizona. So that is our second residential campus and our third campus overall that we do have today. And next is actually a video showing all of our degree programs. So you can actually see everything that we do offer beyond just our flight program. I'm going to share my computer sound so you guys can hear it. So just to elaborate a little bit more on our campuses that we do have and just a little bit of geography for you. So as you can see, a snippet of our two residential campuses. To first start on Daytona Beach, we're about 5 miles from the actual beach, which is really nice. So we're about a 10-minute drive away, right in the heart of Daytona. We are adjacent to the Daytona Beach International Airport, so all of our flight students can actually walk right to their flights, right from campus. And in the picture there, you can actually see our Student Union building on the right. So that houses a lot of our dining options on campus, our bookstore, and some other student spaces. And then on the left is our College of Arts and Sciences building. And actually, fun fact about that building, that dome you see at the top is actually the largest collegiate telescope in the Southeast, which is a really great resource for our students. And then the middle picture there, you can see our Prescott, Arizona campus. So they're about 2 hours from Phoenix and about 20 degrees cooler. So it's a great climate, a little bit different climate and landscape than Florida, as you can see, and they're right near the mountains. So if you're someone who likes to mountain bike or hike, then that's definitely a great location for you. And our worldwide campus, like I mentioned, does have online platforms. So they do actually have the opportunity for you to join from anywhere in the world or across the country. Population on each campus. So Daytona Beach is just over 6,700 students on campus. Prescott's about half the size with just over 3,000 students on campus. And as you can see, Worldwide has the most number of students enrolled with just over 17,600. Especially with our 2 residential campuses, you really do get a great experience of a balance between a small to medium-sized campus with the benefits of having a vibrant student life and being big enough where you really get to meet a wide variety of different types of people from all over the world. But luckily it is small enough, and I'll talk a little bit about this later on, where you do get the benefits of small class sizes and really a community type of feel on campus. And you really do get to connect with students all across campus just because it is luckily that balance of small to medium size. Next is actually a video showing some students talk about our residential campuses and their experience on each campus. So first you'll hear from some students at our Arizona campus, and then second from some students at our Daytona Beach campus.
Because the campus is so small and it's such a tight-knit community, very, very quickly you become at home in Prescott and in Embry-Riddle.
It's a different environment from a really big university. You walk around and most people, you know their names, and even if you don't, you recognize their faces.
Being close to the Grand Canyon and Sedona, it's a great opportunity to get outside of school and do some outdoor stuff.
Embry-Riddle makes it really easy to get involved. I really like hiking and bouldering, so I think that's really fun.
We have some really cool clubs here on campus. There's really something to do for everybody here, and if we don't have it, you can start your own club.
Greek life is probably one of the best decisions I've made. Maybe at the beginning you don't know too many people, but right away you put right into the spirit of Embry-Riddle.
One of the special things we have is a lot of airspace. We have a lot of places to go fly that aren't very busy. We also have mountainous terrain, high altitude operations.
The flight line here at Embry-Riddle is located right at the airport. So the students are basically surrounded by aviation.
In Arizona, we have an incredible amount of wonderful flying weather, over 300 days a year.
This has been the most exciting time of my life. I've become a lot more confident in who I am, and I feel like I know myself a lot better.
Embry-Riddle Prescott is a great place to go to school. Even though it's small, it's very full of life.
It's very nice to be surrounded by people that have a love and an interest for what it is that you're interested in.
We have a strong community. We are all pushing for each other, and we want to see each other succeed.
Daytona Beach is pretty great. I love the beach. Just to have that opportunity to go to school and be able to surf in the same day even, that's pretty cool.
I'm from Sweden, where it's about 30 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and I'm in Daytona Beach, where it's sunny basically all year around, and I have 10 minutes to the beach. Could it be any more perfect?
One thing that a lot of people don't know about Embry-Riddle is that it is literally adjacent to the Daytona Beach International Airport. You can actually walk to your flights from the school. You get to become really good friends with your classmates. There's no large classrooms here, and you really get to develop some strong relationships.
I've met many different people from all walks of life, and it all helped me to grow as a person and as a professional.
It really does feel like a big family to me, and that's another reason why I love it here.
I fell in love with the weather, the fleet, the culture, the people. After visiting down here, my mind was pretty much made up.
And so moving on. So next, now that you know a little bit about what it's like to be on campus and about our history, just to share a little bit more about why we feel like you should choose Embry-Riddle. So we do attribute that both to the tangible experiences and wider worldview that you'd be getting on campus. And the first thing I love to talk about with tangible experiences is that a really unique part of our application process is that by applying, if you do get accepted, you actually do get accepted directly into the degree program that you apply to. So I'll talk a little bit about the application process later on, but essentially you'll choose a campus and you'll choose a specific major, and you will be considered for that specific major. So right from the start, you are getting hands-on experiences related to the degree field that you chose and got accepted for. And then once you are on campus, luckily, whichever campus you choose, you will get to small class sizes. Even though Daytona Beach is about twice the size, our average class sizes at both residential campuses are under 30. As you can see, with about 27 students in an average class at Daytona and about 24 students in an average class at Prescott. And with that, you are only ever going to be taught by professors. You'll never be taught by a grad assistant, and you won't be in a lecture hall. So your professors will know who you are. There'll be great connections for you in the classroom. And when you're encouraged to get professional experience as well, you'll be able to get those hands-on tangible experiences outside the classroom as well and prepare you for graduation. And with that, as you can see, we do have a 94% placement rate. So that basically shows that 94% of our students within a year of graduation either choose to go to grad school or actually get a job within their intended career field. So obviously, we're very happy with that number, and our students are definitely prepared for success and for graduation after they finish their Embry-Riddle degree. And luckily, we aren't only academics all the time. We do have 350 plus clubs and organizations on campus. We do have club and intramural sports. We have special interest clubs like hang gliding club at Prescott and skydiving clubs at both campuses. We also have some religious organizations and some other organizations as well, of course. So there's lots of different ways to get involved, which I'll also elaborate more later on as well. But next, we have a couple of videos showing some student projects. So the first one is a brief video just showing some general projects that you can most definitely be a part of. And next, you'll actually hear some students talk about their senior capstone project and a little bit about what they did.
Our senior capstone project is a liquid rocket engine named Genus, and its accompanying testing facility named Test Cell 3.
And the purpose of that is to basically establish a liquid rocket test facility here at Embry-Riddle and make an engine worthy of flying.
We've been working towards this for the last 4 years, doing rocket projects, helping with other things, and seeing it finally culminate with a hot fire in under 2 semesters was absolutely incredible.
Well, this is quite possibly the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life, and I've worked at NASA.
And so another opportunity we have on campus for you to get involved if you are interested is Division II athletics. So our Daytona Beach campus is NCAA Division II with 9 men's sports and 11 women's sports. Some of those being basketball, baseball, softball, and volleyball, obviously among some others. And then Prescott is NAIA Division II with 5 men's sports and 6 women's sports, a couple of those being wrestling, baseball, basketball, and cross country as well. So lots of options, and of course there are some others as well. So if you were interested in playing a Division II sport, you most definitely can. And like I mentioned a bit earlier, we do also offer club and intramural sports as well. So lots of athletic opportunities on campus. And then to elaborate a little bit more on the wider world view that you'd be getting, a lot of our students quite literally get a wider world view from up above and all around because they do spend a lot of time in a plane in their degree program. But for all of our students, whether you're on the ground or in a plane, you will be getting a wider world view just because of the representation we have on our campus. So we do have representation on our campuses from all 50 states in the United States, as well as over 100 countries. So you most definitely are learning in your classes, but most definitely from your peers as well, because they're coming to Embry-Riddle and coming to our campuses from places that may be at the other side of the world for sure. And then other ways to get involved, we do have study abroad opportunities. So if you wanted to take a semester to take some classes in a different country and be able to do that and either take classes related to your major or anything that'll fulfill your degree program, you most definitely can do that and actually take some time to immerse yourself in a different country. We do have ROTC programs at both of our residential campuses as well. Our Daytona Beach campus does have all 4 branches of ROTC, and we actually had the #1 NROTC cadet in the nation in 2017, and we are #1 after the Air Force Academy for commissioned pilots and officers. And at Prescott, we do have both Air Force and Army, and in 2018, they actually had the Outstanding Air Force Cadet of the Year. And then in both residential campuses, we also do have Greek life. And I love talking about the culture of Greek life on our campuses because it very much breaks down the negative stereotype that it typically gets at college campuses. And it very much is an organization that you can be a part of if you want to be a part of a community and be able to meet a lot of people and alumni that are a part of that organization, as well as do community service and philanthropy. But it by no means is pressured upon our students to feel like they have to join to fit in. We have over 300 other clubs and organizations that you can join. But we do have over 20 sororities and fraternities available if you did want to get involved in Greek life. And then of course academics, because that will be the #1 reason why you do come to Embry-Riddle. So we do have 5 colleges within the university: the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Aviation, College of Business, College of Engineering, and the College of Security and Intelligence. So of course, as you saw in the beginning, we do have much more than just our flight program, which would be aeronautical science. But just to elaborate a little bit on notable programs, of course, like I just touched on, aeronautical science is our flight program. So if you were interested in becoming a commercial pilot, that is one of the programs we're, of course, very well known for, and most definitely something you could do at either Prescott or Daytona Beach. Aerospace engineering, we've consistently been ranked the #1 aerospace engineering program for the last 20 years. So you most definitely can pursue that major if you are interested in becoming an engineer and working in the aerospace field, such as working for NASA or SpaceX. That's also offered at both of our residential campuses. Astronomy and astrophysics is offered at our Daytona Beach campus, but astronomy is also offered at Prescott. Global Security and Intelligence Studies is offered specifically at Prescott and could be something that you major in if you're interested in going into a field related to potentially going into a government agency like the CIA. Forensic biology and forensic psychology are also both offered at Prescott. Forensic biology is actually a pre-med track as well. So if you're interested in something like crime scene investigation, then that may be a great major for you, as well as prepare you for med school. Logistics and supply chain management is offered through Worldwide, but both Prescott and Daytona also offer business programs. So one unique program that we do offer is aviation business administration as well at both Prescott and Daytona. So it definitely prepares you for everything that you'd be getting in a business administration degree, but does have a focus on aviation if you're interested in potentially becoming an aviation airport executive. Aerospace physiology is a really unique program, actually so unique. We're the first and only program in the nation to offer aerospace physiology. It also is a pre-med track and is specifically offered at Daytona. So it essentially studies how the human body reacts in aerospace environments, so environments such as space, and can also prepare you for med school. Next is actually our last video in the presentation and just sums up who we are at Embry-Riddle.
blazing trails in technology, aviation, business, and cybersecurity. A future defined by innovation, finding solutions for industry partners as the world's premier aerospace institution. Our continuing success speaks for itself. We've earned top distinctions across our campuses and worldwide. We're training the workforce of tomorrow, adding value to the industries we serve, and expanding our growing global reach. We promote problem-based discovery in career-focused programs. We are the leading edge, a global education leader opening up opportunities for students. Our history and heritage spans nearly 100 years, founded with a vision of endless possibilities to launch new generations of pioneers and dreamers, putting the future firmly into focus for us and for you. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. What will you explore with us?
So next I just touch on how you can actually become an Eagle and how you can start your future with us. So our application process. So your first step in our application process will be to complete an online application. So if you haven't already done so, you can go to erau.edu/apply in order to start your application. We are not on the Common App, so you will actually need to go to our specific website and submit an application there. That's where you'll select your specific campus preference, and then from there follow the steps in order to select your intended major and complete the application. Typically there is a $50 application fee, but you can use the DBPC code to waive the $50 application fee, so feel free to use that. And then once you submit the application online, you'll want to send us official high school transcripts, and we do actually accept them in multiple different ways, as you can see. So depending on the campus you do apply to will depend on the details of how you send them, either in the mail, email, or electronic service. Make sure you do have them sent directly from your high school to make them official, and make sure you do submit them after you complete your application. Don't wait until you graduate, because we will need them in order to review your application for admission. And then optional documents. So we are SAT or ACT optional. So if you have test scores you feel as though they reflect who you are as a student, you can most definitely send those scores to us, and you'll just want to request those official scores to be sent to the campus that you're applying to, and you would send them either through College Board or through the ACT website. And then if you wanted to send us 2 letters of recommendation from professional connections that you have, whether they're teachers or guidance counselors or potentially a boss, then you most definitely can submit those alongside an essay and a resume to highlight some other aspects of who you are as a student if you feel as though they would help your application, but they are completely optional. And then funding your education. So we do have multiple different ways for you to build your financial aid in order for you to bring down the cost of attendance. So actually just a few days ago, for any seniors, the FAFSA did open, which is the free application through the federal government for need-based aid. So if you haven't already filled that out, I highly recommend you submit that if you're eligible, and you can most definitely send that over to us in order to add that on to any other financial aid that you're offered. Merit-based scholarships. So upon acceptance, the university will automatically be considered for merit-based scholarships. So there's no separate application, and that process will happen a few weeks after if you are accepted. So if you see an acceptance up front but don't see merit-based scholarships, that process will be happening after your acceptance. So keep an eye out on that. Internal scholarships. There are some internal scholarships that are also considered upon your application, and then some others as well, like the Alumni Endorsement Scholarship. So if you know an alumni of Embry-Riddle, let us know. We'll be able to connect you with the place for the alumni to fill out an endorsement on your behalf. And that's one other internal scholarship we have that does have a slightly different application process. And then ROTC scholarships. So if you were interested in ROTC, obviously there is a bit of a commitment while you're on campus and after you graduate as well. But let us know if you were interested in a specific branch of ROTC at a campus, and we'll be able to connect you with the information to answer any questions you may have about the application process for those scholarships. And then special interest scholarships. So if you're a part of organizations like Vector Robotics or First Robotics, we do have a lot of special interest scholarships highlighted on our website. So I encourage you to go check those out. And you can always feel free to let us know if you have any questions about those. And then external scholarships. So if you have any other external scholarships that you're awarded outside of anything I mentioned above, so from an outside organization that you're a part of, or if you apply to any over the internet, then you can most definitely send those over to us. Just make sure of course, you do apply, and if you're accepted, you can build your financial aid profile and send those over. And then we are doing other presentations as well. So if after today you just want to get more Embry-Riddle and Eagle Pride, you can most definitely register for another virtual presentation. And here's just some more, information on student projects and what it's like to be an Eagle. So you can scan that QR code in the middle in order to register online. You can also find it on our website as well if you're unable to scan the QR code, but we are offering multitudes of offerings for presentations after today through the middle of November. So I definitely encourage you to check those out if you had any other questions. And of course, we always like to say it's a great day to be an Eagle. So our mascot are the Eagles, and we hope that you're ready to hopefully start your future with us here at Embry-Riddle. And I encourage you to contact us as well. So if you did have any questions after today, we're more than happy to help. Depending on the campus you're interested in, definitely feel free to contact the specific campus that you may be thinking about. If you change your mind in the application process, don't fret. We always are working with each other and alongside each other. So our campuses are not separate other than location in that regard. This is my specific contact information. So if you wanted to contact me directly and just have a direct point of contact, you most definitely can. That QR code is a link to a virtual inquiry form, but you don't have to fill that out by attending this meeting. You most definitely are able to be recognized as being a part of this event. And that is the end of my presentation. Does anyone have any questions that we can answer for you in the chat? We can answer them live. If you did have any questions, just feel free to submit them in the chat. And I'll stop sharing my screen in case anyone else has anything to add or wants to answer any other questions. Do any of the participants have any questions that we can help with?
Again, as a quick reminder, if you would like to submit a question, please do so in the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. That is where Rebecca will be able to check all of the questions coming through.
So we got a question about if you have flight training prior to attending Embry-Riddle, can you test out of certain classes? So the answer is yes. You most definitely can bring licenses in with you to Embry-Riddle if you wanted to. Keep in mind that if you do pursue aeronautical science and flight training at Embry-Riddle, you will need to complete at least 25% of the licenses on our campus in order to qualify for the program. But you most definitely can bring your private pilot's license and your instrument rating in order to still qualify. Keep in mind, if you do bring in anything more than your private pilot's license, you will lose the restricted ATP. So you will need 1,500 hours instead of the 1,000 hours that the restricted ATP qualifies you for. But you will, get those credits for both the private pilot's license and instrument rating flight blocks. So you will be far in the program and the flight training component at that point. If you do bring in your private pilot's license, you most definitely will still qualify for the restricted ATP and need 1,000 hours and transfer in 6 credits. So that's a great question. You by no means need to bring in any flight training. So you most definitely can start from the beginning and start with your private pilot's license right from the start. But it most definitely could save you some credits if you did do that. Good question. Did anyone have any other questions? And of course, you can always feel free to email us or contact us if you did have any questions after today, and we'd be more than happy to help.
All right, I'll give it a couple more seconds here just to make sure that we don't have any more questions. But I do want to thank Rebecca and her colleagues from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. And of course, thank you to those of you that are here participating in this event. Just so you are aware, whenever you close this window, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question follow-up survey. MOACAC, we really appreciate any feedback that you can provide us. Please do so whenever you close your window today. Also, again, just a reminder, this is just one of the many sessions that MOACAC is going to be hosting over the next several weeks. If you would like to see that full schedule, please go to moacac.org. And then again, a reminder, in about a week, you'll be able to find the session's recording as well as other session recordings at moacac.org. I see another question came through, so I'll let Rebecca take that.
So Mara or Corinne, do you want to talk a little bit about the connections that we have for postgrad students?
Looks like we both hopped on at the same time. I'll take it, Mara, unless you feel deeply passionate about air carrier connections. But yes, to answer your question, we do. We have a few different pathway programs that actually students can get involved in during their time as an undergrad. I know here at the Prescott campus, we have pathway programs set up with Delta, Envoy, SkyWest, and JetBlue. And what those pathway programs do is they give you a qualified job offer, probably your junior year, sophomore year, whenever they offer it to you. And then upon graduation, they say you have X amount of time to get X amount of hours. Once you have those hours, then you immediately go into a first officer position in either one of their regional airlines, if that airline has that, or one of their private airlines, or one of their cargo airlines. So that's one way to do that. Upon other options, we have a ton of alumni who work for various airlines and a ton of different airlines who are always on campus looking for students to hire upon graduation. So yes, there's never a shortage of connections to the industry here at Embry-Riddle.
I can definitely also elaborate on that specifically, of course, for our flight students and for all of our students. You most definitely do have opportunities to connect with employers on campus. Year-round, our Career Services Office works with all of our students to be able to connect them with employment and professional experience, both during college and after college. So if you wanted to get professional experience during college, it most definitely is encouraged for our students to be able to do that, and you potentially could do it during breaks or even at the same time while you do take classes on campus. We do have great resources right around each of our campuses to be able to get that experience. Our Daytona Beach campus is actually about an hour from Kennedy Space Center as well. So it definitely is a great location to be able to connect with those employers. We also do have a career fair on campus once a semester. This fall semester it will be virtual, but it most definitely is still happening. So we do typically have over 100 employers at our career fairs around there in order for our students to connect with employers that are looking for job opportunities after graduation, research opportunities, internships, co-ops. So lots of different ways to connect with people that are looking for people to hire. And then we did get a question from Austin. When can I visit campus with COVID in consideration? So both of our campuses are actually open for for you to come visit. So you can most definitely take a trip to either Daytona Beach or Prescott and see campus, or both if you wanted to. And actually a great benefit of coming to visit campus is you actually do get a $250 travel grant going towards your first semester. So definitely come to visit campus. And then if you do apply your senior year and come to Embry-Riddle, you will get that small internal scholarship for your first semester. So we wanted to say thank you for you to come visit campus. And of course, you actually do get to see a day in the life of an Eagle, but you do need to register on our website first. So please go on our website, make sure you're on the website for the appropriate campus that you are going to visit, and submit your registration to indicate the number of people that will be coming to campus with you for you to then come to campus. Do expect to bring a mask with you as well, and you'll essentially check in, get a visitor's pass, and go on your tour from there. Any other questions? And actually, to elaborate a little bit on that as well, we do have virtual tours on our websites as well. So for both Prescott and Daytona, if you weren't able to come visit campus actually in person, you most definitely can still get a glimpse of campus and our virtual tours on our websites as well. Great questions. Any other questions? If there aren't any other questions that roll in, I'll leave it to be done, and I'll look forward to working with you all going forward.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. And again, thank you to your colleagues as well for coming in this evening to be with us. Again, one last reminder, whenever you close the window, we will be sending you a very quick 4-question survey. Please fill that out and go to www.moacac.org to see a schedule of other sessions, as well as to find this recording. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your week.
Have a good day, guys.